Kennedy Center. President Trump right now is a man in full. Is that Forrest still up?
Yes.
Let's go to Forrest real quickly. We only got a couple minutes, but part of what he talked about, he signed tariffs for 25% on steel and aluminum, but he also alluded to this headline in the Financial Times: U.S. and China set for trade war. Beijing launches retaliatory tariffs. They're also coming after companies. From the CCP's point of view, given where the economy is, how tough is this trade war going to be for us, Zhu?
Hi, thank you, Steve, for having me here. First of all, happy Chinese New Year. This is our Chinese New Year. It's not good for Chinese Communist Party, that's for sure, because the economy is in decline, and the raising unemployment and the living cost is so high. So that's why a lot of young people, we saw the number, we saw the report that the marriage rate dropped significantly. And I don't think this trade war, they will last long for Chinese Communist Party, because right now, Chinese young people cannot afford the marriage. The Chinese enters into this era that people has low desire or no desire. They choose not to marry, not to have children, not to have a house, and not to work, because it's so hard to find a job. The official number for Chinese, from the Chinese official for unemployment rate is 20%, but the real number actually is more than 50%. That tells you how bad the economy is. So that's why I don't think the Chinese Communist Party will last long with this trade war or with this tariff, because with the tariff they add on will make it harder for the Chinese people, for the Chinese business. So they won't last long. And also, I think Mr. Trump's tariff add on the Chinese Communist Party is going to be, in long term, is good for the U.S. people, for the Laobaixing here, because they will bring the manufacturing back and also cut the tie with Chinese Communist Party, because Chinese Communist Party using their supply chain, using their so-called marketing to corrupt, to blackmail all the CEOs and companies here in the U.S. They use all the capitals they gain from the U.S. capital market to corrupt officials, CEOs in this country. They also do the propaganda in this country. So that's why I think this action, the tariff adding on to the Chinese Communist Party, is going to be good for both the Chinese people and the U.S. people, because the Chinese people already suffered for 70 years. Now the young generation cannot even afford house in China. Let me give you things in perspective. Imagine you making 100,000 in US dollars, but you have to purchase 3 million to 4 million for 600 square feet apartment in China. That's how much cost for people. It's not sustainable.
Wow.
People are already aware of that.
Wow.
There is a saying in China about 6 wallet, because in order to afford one apartment, you have to pay from your own pocket, your wife's pocket, your wife's parents, and your parents. That 6 pocket has to pull in for the down payment in order for you to purchase the apartment. So right now, I think this tariff in long term is good for Chinese people, because we want to take down the Chinese Communist Party. I think to overthrow the Chinese Communist Party, we have to cut all the ties. We talked about this long time ago, decouple economically, technologically with Chinese Communist Party. That will bring down the Chinese Communist Party. Eventually, that's good for the Chinese people and the U.S. Laobaixing. This I think
President Trump was talking. Yeah.
Yes.
President Trump was talking about the retaliatory tariffs. We've got to go. I'm going to have you back on tomorrow because I want to talk about the demographic explosion that's tied to this. But an outright trade war starting between Beijing and Washington, D.C., as memorialized in the Financial Times. Forrest, where do people go to find out more about the new federal state of China, those brave Laobaixing that stand in opposition to this murderous dictatorship, sir?
Yes, you can find us on Gather, and which is NFSC TV and NFSC Speaks. You can also find us on the X.
Thank you, brother. See you on tomorrow. We'll go another step on this tariff, the trade war with China. Massive demographic implosion over there that we need to know about. You talk about this trade war. Make sure we don't get caught up in it. This is the team at Jace Medical. Dr. Sean Rollins and the team took the book of Rosemary Gibson and built a company around it. Don't get caught with active pharmaceutical ingredients or generics that you need that somehow get caught up in the supply chain trade war. JaceMedical.com, put in Bannon, you get a discount. Check it all out. These guys are pretty smart. They got ahead of the curve. They saw the supply chains with API and generics were going to be a big deal, and it's going to be a big deal. Remember, the CCP will do anything to defeat us. Birch Gold, also Birch Gold at near all-time high today. Citicorp says it's going to get to 3,000. I don't know. Could blow past that. Never know. World's in turmoil. Financial markets in turmoil. Capital markets in turmoil. Birchgold.com. What's not in turmoil is the end of the dollar empire. Go read it today. Modern monetary theory, the idea that broke the world. Or text Bannon, Bannon, at 989898 to get the pamphlet that you need to read. Investing in gold in the age of Trump. Was President Trump just on fire right there? Is it just so good? I mean, it's like he riffs on the news, talks about strategy, his thinking, economics. Just get the kids around, let them watch it. FDR used to have fireside, the fireside radio, fireside chats. That's what President Trump's got.